I'm doing this video to show the new driver's ed student, whether it's a teen or an adult, a few things about driver's ed to give you an idea of what it's like. So I'm starting with the driver's education classroom. So at the view that I'm standing here, and I thought as I turned the camera on, maybe I could have put a few things away, but I'm just going to keep it real, okay? So I'm kind of zooming out a little bit just to show you the front of the classroom. We at our school, at our particular school, not to say that all schools do the same thing, but we teach the class using a PowerPoint presentation, several videos that we found very useful over the years. So we have a couple of monitors up front, big enough where everybody could see, and we also have speakers in the classroom so that the sound from the PowerPoint can be loud enough, well enough heard that everybody from the front to the back of the classroom will be able to hear it. And so as I'm walking around, I'm also showing you where we have a projector screen up front, as well as a projector to show everything that we need to. We don't have the ceiling mounted projector, but I know that could also be useful. I'm sure some driving schools do that. We have in our classroom a couple of microwaves, as well as a refrigerator for those students that bring their own lunch to the classroom. And we also, if you're walking, you're going to keep walking with me as I look around the front, we have a banner that one of our supporters gave to us. It's called, the organization is called Sudden Impact. And they do some training, not just for us, but that we can attend and our students can attend. And they provided us with this poster just reminding students about impaired driving that we have in the classroom. And then as we're walking around, I'm going to show you our cell phone caddy. We have our students put their cell phones in this caddy during the classroom, and they're able to get them back during the breaks. Also, just walking around, you can see that we have 3 chairs, and sometimes we have a little bit more. Depends on how many instructors and students we have coming for that day. But we have 3 chairs at the right where you walk into the front door, where when the students are coming to drive for their 2-hour sessions, they come in and have a seat. And most students know exactly what to do when they get here. If they have to go to the bathroom, of course, they do that. But they'll come and sit down and wait for their instructors. We always tell our students to, when they're being dropped off for their drive, to not let their ride leave, not let their parent leave, especially for the teens, until they get the thumbs up from us saying that they can. That way they're not dropped off and maybe they're here early and another student's instructor is here and that student is here and they're wanting to leave, but we have a minor student in the classroom that we can't leave alone. So we do remind our parents that, they're responsible to wait with the student until they get the thumbs up to go. So as we're walking around, we're also still at the front of the classroom. You can see our banners and logos and all that on the outside of the door and, through the window. And then I have my little collection of things that I've gotten over the last few years in my little collection corner. A few things. One thing I'm going to zoom in on is a poster from Think First. See how close I can get. Think First is an organization that comes to speak with our students, and the speakers, the people that come to talk to our teen students, are individuals that have been involved in a crash that was either because of a decision they made that was a bad decision, something like drinking while driving, or getting in the car with somebody that's been drinking and driving, or texting, things like that left them with a permanent injury, something like a brain injury or a spinal cord injury. So those men and women come to speak to our students, and our students learn a lot. We learn a lot as the instructors as well. In passing, I'll mention that we are Louisiana State University fans, so we have a poster or 2 up there from some former and current students, I believe. Go Tigers, all right? And then we're going around, and you can see one of my banners that I had it was an advertising banner, but when we finished with it, the school that I had it hanging at, which is my high school that I attended as well, and I was a school nurse there. But they gave it back to me when they were done with the promotion, or when we were done with the promotion. We also have on the desk here a couple of file folders that are not out here when the classes are going on. We have several tables and seating. We try to get as comfortable seating as we can and still have it fit where everybody has enough room. We could the larger seats over by the door are they're more comfortable, but then we wouldn't be able to seat as many. This particular classroom will hold, by the the legal standard, it will hold 59 people. However, the state of Louisiana has a minimum of 40 students that we can have in the classroom, and typically we don't even do 40 students. That's more than enough. So sometimes we accept students based on how many students we have on our current driving roster. So students take a 30-hour class if they're teens, and that's 17 and under, and the adults take a 14-hour class. 8 of those hours in both situations are behind the wheel. So that's what I mean when I say we base it on our roster. So if we have several already on the roster, we can tweak and change how many students we're going to take into the classroom. The state of Louisiana also gives driving schools 4 months or 120 days to complete driver's ed, the behind the wheel part 2. So let me say it this way, where it'll be easier to understand. On the day that the teen students finish the class, the count begins, and we have 120 days to complete their behind the wheel portion. And so, and for the adults, we have 90 days. So with that in mind, that's how we decide how many we're going to take in our classes, so that hopefully we're not going to take that full time period, and we usually don't. We come close to it sometimes, because you think if we have even 35 students in here, it takes a while to not only drive them on our part, but we also work around our students' schedules. We cannot drive high school students during the school day, the public school day. If they're 17 and under, we cannot drive them. So we have that to work around. It takes a while. And I think sometimes parents especially they are not aware of that it's a process. That's what I call it now. Driver's ed is not an event, it's a process. I'm finally going to end up over at our board here, where we can use to demonstrate. And I personally like to be able to draw out things, and I'm not a great artist, but I can make it fluid. I can make it fit to whatever situation, as opposed to having a board that's already made up. Only thing I probably will get one day is an intersection board, because a lot of times I'll draw out a full intersection, and maybe I could have that already in place. Finally, I'm going to go over here, and I have my little poster, my little saying here: I will not yell in class, I will not throw things, I will not tease the other kids. I am the teacher. But I'm moving this to show you our little phone jail, and that is for students that abuse the privilege. They know they're supposed to have their phones put up, and they still have them in their pocket. This is mainly with the teens. But to tell you the truth, to be honest, it's more of a threat. We've only ever had to put one student's phone in there. All right. So I believe that is the summary. I don't believe I left anything out. So that is, again, to hopefully give a person that's thinking about coming to driver's ed, or, know that they're coming to driver's ed, a little bit of an idea of what the classroom is like. Hope to see you soon, and thank you for watching. And if you're driving already, be sure to drive safely. If you're not, what you waiting for?